त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम साई देवा। साई माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा,
माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा,
साई माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा,
साई माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा।
तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम,
तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि
नारायण हरि नाम भजो रे नारायण वेद पारायणा
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 करुणा भरणा भव भय हरणा
भरणा भव भय हरणा
करुणा भरणा भव भय हरणा
भरणा भव भय हरणा
पावन चरणा पतित जनावना
पतित जनावन
पावन चरणा पतित जनावना
पतित जनावन
नारायण हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नाम भजो रे नारायण वेद पारायणा
नारायण हरि नाम भजो रे नारायण पारायणा
करुणा भरणा भव भय हरणा
भरणा भव भय हरणा
पावन चरणा पतित जनावना
पतित जनावन
पावन चरणा पतित जनावना
पतित जनावन
नारायण हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि
नाम भजो रे नारायण
वेद पारायणा
बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय
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 ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय
बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय
झूठ जटा में गंगा धार
झूठ जटावे गंगा धार
झूठ जटा में गंगा
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering our pranams to Sadguru Shri Madhusudan Sai. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, Sai Ram and good evening. As we draw closer to the much awaited events this weekend, Sathya Sai Grama is abuzz with activity. Cricketers, guests and devotees are pouring in to witness and experience this idea of oneness as we celebrate these values and ideals of unity and fraternity in the true spirit of sportsmanship and brotherhood. We will commence this evening's program with Vedic invocation by the Vatus of the Veda Gurukulam. They will chant verses from the Vishnu Suktam.
सर्वदेवतांशाय धीमहि तन्नो मधुसूदनः प्रचोदयात् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् विष्णोर्नुतं वीर्याणि प्रवोचय्यः पार्थिवानि विममेरजागुंसियो अस्कभायदुत्तरगुं सदस्थं विचक्रमाणस्त्रेधोरुगायो विष्णोरराटमसि विष्णोः पृष्ठमसि विष्णोऽस्न्यप्रेस्तो विष्णोस्योरसि विष्णोर्ध्रुवमसि वैष्णवमसि विष्णवे त्वा तदस्य प्रियमभिपातो अस्याम् नरो यत्र देवयवो वदन्ति उरुक्रमस्य स हि बन्धुरिक्था विष्णोः पदे परमे मध्व उत्सः प्रतद्विष्णुस्तवते वीर्याय मृगो न भीमः कुचरो गिरिष्टाः यस्योरुषत्रिषु विक्रमणेषु अधिक्षयन्ति भुवनानि विश्वा परोमात्रया तनुवा वृधाना न ते महित्वमन्वश्नुवन्ति उभे ते विद्मरजसे पृथिव्या विष्णो देवत्वम् परमस्य वित्से अतो देवा आवन्तु न यथो विष्णुर्विचक्रमे पृथिव्याः सप्तधामाभिः इदं विष्णुर्विचक्रमे त्रेधा निदादे पदम् समूढमश्यपां सुरे त्रीणि पदा विचक्रमे विष्णुर्गोपा अदाभ्यः अतो धर्माणि धारयन् विष्णोः कर्माणि पश्यत यतो व्रतानि पश्पशे इन्द्रस्य युज्यः सखा तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयाः दिवि एव चक्षुरातातम् तद्विप्रासो विपन्यवो जागृवां तस्समिन्धते विष्णोर्यत्परमं पदम् हरिः ओम्.
This evening, We have a student from the Mandya campus, Sri Sathya Sai Sharda Niketanam, who will share his thoughts with us. Meghanand hails from a small village in Chikbalapur district and he is in his grade 6. Meghanand.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Mena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I bow down to the Guru who pervades in the entire universe. Om Shri Sai Ram, offering my humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of Sadguru Shri Madhusudan Sai. My namaskars to all my elders, teachers and my dear brothers and sisters seated here. Today I am honored to share my experiences and learnings after I joined this institution. Before I joined this Gurukulam, I remember that on one Shivratri, I fasted the whole day and prayed to Lord Shiva to put me into a good school where I can study well and learn good habits and become a good person who can help the society. With Swami's grace and heartfelt prayers of my parents, I could join Sri Sathya Sai Sharda Niketanam Gurukulam Mandya campus. Since joining the Gurukulam, my life transformed in many positive ways. In my earlier school, I was not using my time properly and would waste it in unproductive activities. This changed after I joined this institution. The well-planned schedule here is keeping me engaged throughout the day and is helping me develop physically, academically, and spiritually. After becoming a student here, I am eating nutritious and healthy food and learning how to play different games. The daily routine, which includes meditation, yoga, and exercises, keeps me physically fit and active. My academics have also improved a lot after joining this institution. I believe this is because our teachers teach us with lot of love. And if we don't understand something, they teach us again and again till we understand. When I first joined this institution, I was very poor in science and could not understand what was happening in the class. One day when my teacher observed that I was not participating in the class, he asked me what happened, and I said, I am not able to understand what he is teaching. He said, if I don't understand, I should not be quiet, but tell him. Then he sat with me for 1 hour after school to help me understand the concept. This is just one example of the love and dedication of our teachers. I am very grateful to them. Finally, the spiritual education that is taught to us as Paravidya has significantly contributed to my development. While I am learning many new shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita and Subhashita and reading interesting stories from the Ramayana and Mahabharata, the biggest change that this education has made is in my behavior. I understood this when I went for winter vacation. Earlier, when my mother asked me to help her, I used to refuse, thinking that it is not my job. Now, even before she asked me, I helped her in all work. I also helped my younger brother to study. Seeing these changes, my parents and friends told me that I was respecting elders and also speaking politely and have become more disciplined. Swami has given us different types of clothes for different activities. White dress for darshan and school, night dress for sleeping, and different types of dresses for games and prayers. From this, I learned to dress in a neat and dignified manner. Swami, even before we ask you for anything, you have given us. The biggest gift that you have given us, the gift of education. I pray that we all make best use of it and make you happy. Thank you, Swami, for everything you have given us.
We invite our Chancellor, Shri B. Narasimhamurthy sir, to address us, please.
Hearty congratulations to the youngest soldier in the spiritual army of Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. This is what makes Swami happy. When people talk about the change that comes over in the students of our institutions, when parents feel elated that I was blessed to admit my son or daughter in Sadguru's institution, that is when Swami feels happy. Swami other day said, I am strong because of my children. For the sake of my children, I have no other option other than to be strong. I derive my strength from my students, he said. That is what makes Swami happy. And I would appeal to all the students, from the youngest to the eldest, where in a very simple way you can make Swami happy. Because in everyday life, though he is divine, in this human drama, he has to face many challenges. And the most of the challenges that he is facing is in order to shelter you here in 30 odd campuses, give you food, clothing, education, both of this world and the other world. In doing so, it is not an easy task. It's a very challenging task, and Swami faces challenges. And if you want to bring a smile on Swami's face, this is how you do it. My dear children, boys and girls, I don't want to speak anything more. I was so thrilled this evening to see one of the finest batsmen that the world has seen, G.R. Vishwanath with Godmen, Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. A batsman and Godmen on the center of the cricket pitch. For a cricket enthusiast like me, nothing thrills me anything more. And Swami said, this is the first time in my life, as a student, as a boy, as whatever he is now, first time I am on the center of the cricket ground, he said, because he never played cricket, because I do know that, having had the blessing of living under the same roof in the hostel at Brindavan for 3 years, he was not a sports enthusiast. I should tell our students, he has become a sports enthusiast now because of you, in order to make you happy. I can tell you with authority, in India, there is no other educational institution in a rural setting which can boast of a cricket ground of international standards. There is nowhere else. All this is because of you, and it is your sacred duty, fundamental swadharma, that you should make Swami happy with whatever little things that we can do. You may not be able to do great things, but Swami expects you to do great things when you grow up. But now little things are happy. With these words, I conclude and pray to Swami for his benedictory discourse on this most wonderful occasion when I see Premamrutham full of blossoming flowers on both sides, the students. Thank you very much.
Oh, Narasimhamurthy ji used the word Swadharma, and I have been speaking about it in the recent times, that Swadharma is what you are born to do. Dharma is what everybody needs to do. Swadharma is what you are born to do within the ambit of Dharma. Sri Krishna says, Shreyan Sadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmat Swanushtitad Swadharme Nidanam Shreyaha Paradharmo Bhayavaha. It's better you do your dharma, your duty, even if it's faulty, even if it's prone to mistakes, than copying somebody else or doing somebody else's dharma. For it is better to die doing one's own dharma than to follow somebody else's dharma. What does that mean? As the soldiers, he said, not even missionaries, he said soldiers of the mission, you have a swadharma. To do your part in the mission to the best of your abilities. And everybody's best is different, I understand. When I go around, so many people now, I think the other day I encourage people to draw sketches. And I mentioned one of the boy has sketched me so well. Now I'm seeing my caricatures all over the hall. It has encouraged the next generation, the younger ones, to draw me. Somewhere my nose is big, somewhere my eyes are small. Because now everybody wants to sketch and get my attention and a signature on that. I am having a tough time. Some people are born to be artists, as I said. They are born to do what they have got to do. Some people are born to be singers, as you have seen yesterday. Some dancers like the day before. Today some other musicians. Now when I came here in the hall, I remembered the Arab and the camel story. Remember, you know the story, when a camel is cold outside the tent, he tells the Arab, his master, please give me a little space so that I can put my head inside the tent. The compassionate master says, all right. And the camel puts his head. After some time, he gets his legs in. Then the whole camel comes in and the master is sitting out. See, they have occupied the whole stage. I am sitting out. The girls wanted an orchestra. Now it's become so big that it takes the whole stage now. But I don't mind, because it is for our children. Like parents don't mind. Like so your sadharma in this mission is to do your role as the foot soldiers of this mission, which is to keep up the values that you have learnt in this mission. Such a small boy, barely 11 or 12, speaks about this mission, about what he is doing, about how he has changed and improved, about how his parents, elders and friends at home have realized that there is a significant change in his behavior. That makes me happy. I always tell marks and remarks, there are two things. Marks, you get it for your sake because you need to get success in your life, you must learn everything. But remarks is what I look at, what others are saying about you. I will praise you because you are my children. You may praise yourself because you know you are good or you are right. And your teachers may also praise you because you're behaving well. But when you go into the society, when people outside look at you, what is that they say is what I'm very interested in. When they come and tell me that your students are very good, even if it's a small act of goodness that they have demonstrated, that makes me feel very happy because that is my award, that is my reward. At the same time, there is the other side to it also. When anybody comments even a little, like the proud mother who cannot take her child's, somebody commenting on her child, I also cannot take it. To a very personal note, I would share that when you were very small, you remember I have a cut here on my eyebrows. Do you notice that? This I got when I was just 5 or 6 years old. I was playing on the terrace of the house with a cousin of ours, and for no fault of mine, the cousin was playing foul, so I tripped and fell, and I cut my eyebrows here. A mother is sitting here. She was to work in the hospital. She was an administrative person. So she just returned from the hospital. It was 5:30 p.m. in the evening. And then this cousin, he was very clever. He was older than me, so he knew if he goes and reports first, then his story will be believed. Now, all children know that. You fight and you the first who goes to the teacher and says, "Sir, what did they?" The teacher will think that the first one is right and the second one is wrong. This is a typical strategy of most kids. So this happens everywhere. First to file a case, first to report to the police, even if they're wrong, people think he's right. So this cousin went and told mother, who had just come from the hospital, that I did something because of which there was something happened, and then I fell. That is not his fault. He wanted to be clear. And imagine at that point in time, I thought that I will get some soothing words from my mother, but she scolded me instead of scolding the cousin. That why did you do this and how did you do this and things like that. I felt very upset. I was just 5 or 6, but I still remember this incident. You can imagine 40 years later. Because I felt it was unfair. So I told Amma, why did you scold me? Why are you beating me? You should beat him because he's the one who has done the mistake. But she did not touch him at all. She did not even scold him. He was a guest in our home. She only scolded me that you should have been careful. Why did you get into something like this? Now this has happened, that has happened. I did not know. I thought the mother was unfair to me. But only when I grew up I realized that she was actually fair, because in her motherhood, in her motherliness, she knows that she was upset to see my situation like that. But she knew that she can't say anything to the outsider. Even if the outsider is wrong in what he was saying, she can't say anything to him. She can only take out her whatever anger or upset, whatever she felt on me. She can't take it out on the others. This lesson I learned much later. I did not realize it then, but then later she explained to me, see, they are from outside. They've come as guests. How will it look like if I do or say anything to him? I can only say to you, you are my child. They are not my children. I can't say anything to him. You be careful. Don't play with him if he's like that. Don't go and play with him. She consoled me later. So that is how I work also. If somebody praises you even for a little thing, oh, your children are singing very well, they behaved so well, they did so well, I felt so proud. I feel very happy. And I go around boasting about it. But if somebody even makes the smallest comment, oh, that boy did this, or that girl did that, even the smallest, it may be very trivial from the largest scheme of things, it may be a very trivial thing for you. And you might wonder, why should Swami even react this much for a thing as simple as this? It's not a life and death situation. It's a simple, small mistake. Many of the devotees also tell me, why do you get so upset? Let it be. This is a small mistake. They're children, they'll make mistake. But it's not about children making a mistake or what. It's about the parent in me who is very proud to listen to anything that is negative about the student or anybody for that matter. That is why the response that I give. So you have to understand how I see things. It's very different from how devotees see or how the world outside sees it. I see from the parent's point of view, a very proud parent's point of view, who is very proud of what his children are. And so anybody, even if you say something which is not true, I know it's not true, but why did that thought occur to somebody? Why did they observe in you that they even commented this way? That kinds of upsets me. So this is how I am, this is how my nature is. As Bhagavan used to say, there is a Daiva Prajna and there is a Jiva Prajna to every person, every avatar, every great being. There is a human side of it. Krishna would love butter, he will steal butter, he will trouble the gopikas. That was his Jiva Prajna, Krishna as a boy. Daiva Prajna is also that he can lift the Govardhan Giri, or he can kill this or whatever, control a serpent, or he can do so many other things. That is the Daiva Prajna part of it. When he is doing all that, lifting a Govardhan Giri or holding the Kaliya serpent in his hand, he is not stealing butter at that time. He is not stealing clothes at that time. But when he is stealing clothes and he is stealing butter, he is not doing all that, right? So you understand, everybody, every avatar, even you and I, everybody has Jiva Prajna and Daiva Prajna. There are times when we are absorbed in that ultimate oneness, we are divine, then everything looks trivial. Then even running a mission or not running the mission is not important at that time. It happens as it is supposed to happen. You think from it from that point of view. But the moment you are in a Jiva Prajna, at that point in time there is a role to play. The role demands that you play it in a certain way, like an actor on the stage. When he comes on the stage, puts on the costume, he must perform the role to the best of his ability. Even if both of them are very good friends, let us say in the real life, on the stage, if one is Rama and one is Ravana, one has to kill the other, at least on the stage. So that is the role, that is what he said. What are these challenges? These are not real challenges, these are roles. Role that I have to play. In the role, whatever comes, we have to deal with it. But we cannot quit the stage in the name of, oh, there are too many challenges, this is too difficult a role, too many dialogues, my role is not very nice, I want to be the hero. All these you cannot ask. Whatever the divine has destined, ordained, we must follow that and we must do our role. That is Swadharma. The role that you all have to play in your own lives as a part of this greater mission, be it devotees, be it staff, be it students, be it anybody who is coming to be a part of this. So as students, what is your role? Your role is to Kakacheshta, Bhakodhyanam, Shwananidra, Tathaivacha, Swalpahari, Grihatyagi, Vidyarthi, Panchalakshanaha. You all know that by heart. You should do your role. As students, be very persevering in your pursuit of education. I like that the fact that some teacher made extra effort to sit after class hours to explain to him the concept, to ensure that every child is participating and enjoying. That kind of teachership, that kind of studentship is Kakacheshta. Bhakodhyanam, absolute concentration, no distractions. Yesterday also there is very important people came here. And out of many things that happened, even this topic about not giving mobile phones to medical students came up. Seems like that is the biggest achievement of this century. That's what is being touted as. They forget all the big other things. They say, how did you manage to take away phones from children? I said, that's a part of our culture. They have devices on which they have information for their education loaded, but no social interactions and things like that. All I'm trying to say is that, why Bhakodhyanam? The absolute concentration of a crane, which waits for the fish to pass. Standing on one leg, it waits for hours like a statue. The moment the fish passes under the water, it picks it up quickly, within a fraction of a second. It's a sight to see how quick they are. That kind of absolute sharp concentration. And that will happen only if mind is not distracted. If mind is thinking of 10 different things, how can it focus on one thing? So that sharpness in your concept, that steadiness, focus, that is the second thing. Shwananidra, sleep like a dog, they say. Dog is very quick to sleep and very quick to wake up. Because it is very alert. Its job is to be alert. A dog is not supposed to rest and relax. It's supposed to guard the house. So it has to be very quick and very agile, especially with sleep. So it has absolute control on its tamas. It's a little noise, it wakes up and starts barking. And the next moment it's asleep again when things are okay. Our children should have that kind of a quickness. When they wake up, that's it. There's no dilly-dallying there. And when they have to go to sleep, in a second they fall asleep. That is the kind of ability one should have. But that comes only with a peaceful mind. Many people are there. Minds are not at peace, they keep rolling in the bed for 2-3 hours, don't get sleep. Why? Because mind is busy doing something. But our children's mind should be so pure and steady. Immediately they go to sleep, immediately they wake up when the time is right. That kind of ability should be developed. Salpahari. Eat only as much as you need. If it's just because it's tasty, don't eat more. Just because it's not so tasty, don't discard food. Everything is designed as a menu by nutritionists. The best what is possible is being given. Appreciate that. Don't waste food. At the same time, don't overeat. Overeating is also wasting food. So Upanishad says, no, annam na nidya tadbratam. Do not abuse food. Do not disrespect food, it says. What is disrespecting? Eating more also is disrespecting food. It is also abusing food. And not eating enough also is abusing food, disrespecting food. So both ways one should do. Yes, some items some people like, some people don't like, but then to take care of everybody's tastes and everybody's requirements, some menu is there. We have to agree and adjust with that. That also teaches us a great lesson of adjustment, which is very important. Like you can't be too rigid. You can't have your way everywhere. So that is the other thing. Alpahari means eat as much as required. Don't eat more than that. That's all. Similarly, also don't starve, don't waste food. That's also not right. Many people tell, can I do this upavasa? Not required. These austerities are not required, not at this age. You need food, you need energy, you need to grow. Don't starve yourself in the name of spiritual growth. Not required. Eat appropriately, that's enough. And the food that is being given is sattvic, that is good enough for us. And then, grihatyagi, you have to leave your home and live with the guru. That's very important. That's very important as a part of your educational training. If you don't leave your home and you want to live in the luxury of your home, be pampered by your parents, grandparents, then you are not going to be a good student. You will not learn enough. In our culture, from the day one, it's very clear. The child has to go to a gurukulam. Fortunately, in those times, there were great gurukulams run by great sages, not just teachers, they were gurus. So there was a refuge for all the parents to put the children over there, some place where they can learn and grow. But such gurukulam systems are not there anymore. At least we have tried to create as close to that idea as possible. So that is important because that's when you live in a community. You start learning how to sacrifice for each other, how to adjust with each other. Just now I was speaking to a parent and a child who had come. The parents were saying initially she found it very difficult to adjust in the hostel. I told, how is she now? Now it's better. She is more adjusting, fights less with her classmates and all that. I said, this is what she has learned. Only when you put her in the hostel in the middle of 20 people who are of different types. Some are nice, some are not so nice, some are very good, some are not so good. But you have to live with all of them and be friends. That is not easy. You can't learn too late in life all these things. When your mind is still moldable, that's when you should learn all this. That's why hostel life gives you that capacity to learn to adjust with everyone, because society is like that. You can't just walk in and have your way. Not possible. Give and take is the way of society. So that also you learn. All this is a part of your learning which makes you a better human being at the end, better missionary. And that is what will help you to lead your life in accordance with this mission. So being a soldier means being ready, alert like a dog, as I said, every time alert. Being a soldier means eating enough appropriately and right eating. You can't eat all and become too bulky, and you can't fight a war then. You cannot have lack of focus. Can you lose focus? You are shooting somebody on the other side. If you lose focus, that person will shoot you. It's about who gets you first, who gets it first, right? Either you shoot him first or he shoots you first. That is how wars happen. If you have focus, you are going to be the first. Focus is required. Whatever you know, if the soldier does not know his drill, he does not understand the command of the commander, does not know the strategy, has confusion about where he has to stand, what he has to do, he can't win a war. He will also die and he will get everybody killed because he has not understood his instructions properly. That's why the chain of command in military and army is so particular, so very important. Nobody has any confusion, everybody understands, right? So that kind of understanding, kakacheshta and grihatyagi, a soldier can't fight from home, no? He has to go to the borders in the cold or heat or sun or rain or whatever be the conditions. He should be willing to accept that as a part of his role. That is swadharma. Now you tell me, if you want to be soldiers in this mission, the things that you are learning in the mission, is this not really making you a good soldier at the end? So you have to appreciate how things have been designed. Sometimes some people who are new, they may question why this, why not that, how I should. Others who are older in the system, they must explain to them very nicely. See, this is how it is. This is how it is. This is meant because we are not just going to be students or professionals. We are really soldiers. We are part of this mission. We have to do what we have got to do as our Swadharma in this mission. That is why all this is being taught to you, or all this training is for that. And you can't train your mind too late. You can't teach new tricks to the old dog, they say. The mind is like that. When it is agile, when it is supple, when it is very capable of being molded, that is the time you should mold it. Once it hardens after 13, 14 years, 15 years, very difficult to get the mind to listen to you. So that is what happens to most of the people. Today also somebody had written, why don't we, around the country, around the world, the amount of substance abuse in the teenagers, and just the other day I was reading recently, the pregnancies in teenagers has gone up, both because of the early marriages and also because of behaviors issues. And so much of wrong is being, gun violence, the anger in the kids, which is leading them to become violent. They're harming themselves and others. As I was mentioning the other day when I was in Atlanta, a judge from juvenile court had come to meet me. She was saying, my heart breaks every time I pronounce a judgment on a child who is 14 years old, 15 years old for such kind of abusive behavior or violence. It makes me feel terrible every day. I get depressed. But this is what is happening. Do something about it, Swamiji. What can I do? I can only educate children. I can only tell them what is right, what is wrong, and then give them the right environment to practice these values. And if some people become exemplary, at least looking at them, others will learn. So that is the idea why we are doing what we are doing, especially for all of you. Sometimes it may look like a hard training, but a soldier must undergo the hardships. He can't have the comfort of his bed and home and his conveniences and also be a good soldier who can protect the country. Not possible. Once I had gone on somewhere and they were celebrating the soldiers. It was in Kumbh Mela last time when I had gone in 2019 or sometime. They were celebrating 26 January, that was Republic Day or something like that. I told we need both soldiers on one side who protect the borders of the country and saints also who protect the inside of the country. The country should be worth protecting, the people should be worth protecting, people should be worth dying for. What's the point? The soldier goes and gets himself killed and the country is in ruins. Nobody cares. Who wants to protect such a country? So I told we need both, soldiers outside and soldiers inside. Those who are in military are the soldiers at the border. Those who are saints, that is good people, are the soldiers within the borders. They protect the culture of the country. You are those soldiers. I don't expect you to go and stand at the borders. Maybe some of you might become such soldiers too. Fine. But you have to be the soldiers who protect the inside of the country, protect its culture, and make it a country worth dying for. The sacrifice somebody makes at the border is worth it, because the people inside the country are so good that they have to be protected. So you are those kind of soldiers of this mission who will protect the culture of this country, and through that the culture of the entire world, because India is the engine. If it is taking the train of this world, where all other countries are the bogies, it has to be in the right direction. It has to have the enough courage and strength and energy to pull the train. Because wherever India takes the world will follow. So India has a great role to play. But that is not possible unless you people become the right kind of soldiers. And remember this Swadharma, that you are soldiers in this mission. Soldiers means you are also commanders, you are also leaders, everybody. And this is the mission that is not just to save this country, but it is to save the whole world. And if we don't do it, as I always say, if not us, then who? If not here, then where? If not now, then when? And if not this way, then which way? This is my ultimate understanding of this mission. And all of you are a part of it, whether you wanted it, didn't want it. As I said yesterday, some Purva Janma good deeds are there, which has drawn you to this mission. Stay steady, very important. If your steadiness goes away, then there is a possibility that your readiness also will go away. Then no ready, no steady, no mission. So this is what is happening over here. And I see all your children, and especially when I see these little children come and speak like this, it makes me feel very hopeful that yes, there is a future for this country, for the world in these little kids. But mind you, kids are generally pure. At that age, you are very pure. When you grow up also, you should maintain the same level of innocence and purity, then you will succeed. One campus was there, and I had gone first time. I had taken some our devotees from abroad also. And they were all 6th, 7th students. That time it was a new campus. So when I was leaving, they were all crying. They were catching hold of my hand and not letting me go. But our helicopter had to take off. So, and the devotee who saw this sight of children catching my hand and crying, he started sobbing like a baby, looking at the sight of this. It's very sweet to see the children craving for such love. And my heart also was not, kind of agreeing to leave them, but then there was a schedule and there was the helicopter, I had to fly. So I finally had to get out, get and tell them, I have to go, I'll come back again. They were so innocent, so pure, because they were in 6th and 7th, only small classes. 3 years later when I came back, the same kids, the warden told they're impossible now. They are very difficult to handle. Some of them have become so stubborn that it's not easy to talk to them. They talk back to you. I said, then what went wrong? Because when they were small kids, they all caught my hand and cried. They didn't want me to go from their campus. The same kids now don't want to continue studying here, or they're having these issues. What went wrong? I asked the wardens and other people, because kids were the same. I saw them 2 years or 3 years ago. They were so pure and innocent. 3 years later, how you were telling me they're not behaving well, they're not listening. So they wanted me to come and intervene and talk to them. Anyway, I called the whole class and talked to them, saying that, see, now you're in 10th or whatever. It's important that you should behave well, because your younger ones are watching you and things like that. But I had to tell them personally. The same kids who were crying, they became a reason for us to cry. Why did it happen? Because they lost their innocence on the way. This purity of thought, they lost it on the way. Why? Distractions of the world set in. All other kinds of ideas started coming in, and they were not careful. So they did not guard themselves against all these kinds of wrong thinking. And someday, mind took them for a ride. It went off in another direction altogether. And then they started questioning why we should eat this food, why we should follow this schedule, why we should be kept inside the hospital, why we should not go out. I said, these are the same kids from 6th we were teaching them. How can they ask such questions in 9th and 10th? But to some, not all I'm saying. But why it happened? Because somewhere that Bhako Dhyanam went away. Somewhere the Kakacheshta went away. Somewhere the Shwananidra went away. Somewhere the Grihatyagi Bhava went away. Because of the loss of those values, some of them changed. And then they say, in Hindi say, Kharbuja ko dekhkar rang badalta hai, they say. Means, looking at some of these naughty fellows, the others who are nice also became naughty, because mind's tendency is to go down. Adho gachanti tamasaha. Those who are filled with tamasic ideas, they only go down. So mind is, by its own virtue or whatever its own quality, goes down. To keep it up is a big challenge. That's the effort that we have to put in spiritual path. You can't be too sure. One day your mind is behaving very well, you feel very good like a saint. Don't be too sure. Tomorrow it may behave differently. Because unless the mind is totally merged in the divine, it is not to be trusted. It can always change its ways. Chanchalam hi manah Krishna, says Arjuna says. That is very difficult to control mind. So that is why vairagyena and abhyasena. By continuous practice, every day you practice these values, every day you practice little bit of detachment from wrong things, your mind will become strong. And mind is everything. Mind is everything. Because soul has no power of its own, it doesn't execute anything. It has to use the mind to execute everything. I have to use my mind. Only then I can do anything for you. I cannot just sit and imagine everything should happen. It won't happen. This is karma bhumi, bound by the laws of time, place and causation. So, the mind has to be very steady and focused like that soldier's mind. Only then you are going to be good soldiers. So in this whole mission, your sadharma is to be good soldiers who will protect the country, the culture, and the whole humanity in the process. And that's possible only if you practice these values, very simple values, your basic disciplines you follow, your basic things that are taught to you follow. And these 5 values which I tell, which have been told in Subhashitas many centuries ago, but they are applicable even today. Kakacheshta, learn till you have understood, don't give up. Don't assume, I know. No, till you truly know, don't know it. Get it clarified. Bhako Dhyanam, develop focus and concentration by less distractions. Shwananidra, be quick, alert always, never complacent, never casual. Then Grihatya, Salpahari, eat right. Eat means not just food, eat your thoughts right, hear right, smell right, taste right, touch right, all this is food. Everything in right. And then Grihatyagi, don't ask for comforts. If you ask for comforts, then you cannot grow in life. That is the 5 qualities that students should follow. I have told earlier also, but every year more students join, new batches join, I'm the same teacher, but the students change, so I have to keep repeating the lesson. Is no harm because the older ones also get reminded of what needs to be done. And mind you, all devotees don't think that, oh, we are not students, this is not for us. No, you are also students of spirituality, right? The education is education, whatever be the education. This applies to you also, to everyone. Anybody who wants to learn must practice this. If he doesn't practice this or she doesn't practice this, he won't learn. So be like that, be good students so that tomorrow you can become good soldiers. And you are the only hope for this world. I have traveled enough of the world. I have met enough organizations, heads. I have enough spiritual heads also I have met. I have met matas, akadas, name it. Christian missionaries, I have seminaries. Everywhere I have traveled, but this focus and this intensity with which we are doing what we are doing, nowhere it is there. And this is only possible because such good people are there here in the form of devotees to support this, to encourage. Such good teachers are there who are very passionate about what they're doing. Such good parents are there who understand the mission and are participating in it. Such good students are there who are willing to lend themselves, to surrender and submit themselves to this mission. And above all, never forget, I am there without which this won't be possible. So many things have happened. So it is possible. Let us make this happen. Let us change the world for the better, and that begins with us. With these words, I'll conclude, and I'm looking forward to these camels who have occupied my tent. Let's see how they play. But encourage them. This is the first time they are on the stage, and this is not easy. I know it's very difficult to learn those instruments. They're very subtle, and you have to play together. And they were not really playing so many things, but I told them play some more things because you can't have a concert with 3 songs. You have to have more. So encourage all of them. And I'm looking forward to this concert. I'll come back in a minute.
Bridge differences, unite hearts, and tell stories that words cannot express. For the first time in Sri Sathya Sai Lokaseva Gurukulam, the Sai Symphony Orchestra for Girls humbly steps forward to spread the message of unity, love, and peace. And this is the story of the Symphony Orchestra, a journey of faith, hard work, resilience, and collaboration. Each girl in this orchestra brings her unique story, which defines their roots, their struggles, and the opportunities that have come their way.
My name is Kavita. I come from a small village where my father is a farmer and my mother is a homemaker. Growing up in a small village, I never knew that these musical instruments existed. By the divine grace, I got an opportunity to study at this institution where I learned about those instruments and even got a chance to play them. This unexpected blessing makes me motivated every day to put in my best efforts and strive for excellence.
It all began with a vision, a dream to empower young girls through the universal language of music. The idea was to create not just an orchestra, but a symphony of hope, discipline, and excellence. This dream took its first steps when our revered founder, Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, announced the Sai Symphony Orchestra for Girls during his visit to the Muddenahalli campus on 10th December 2023. Following this, the students were selected to be a part of the orchestra, representing both the strings and brass sections. On 26 May 2024, the students in the string section received their instruments, followed by the brass section, woodwinds, and percussion who received theirs at the end of July. Remarkably, the students demonstrated significant improvement in their learning within a short span of just 5 months. But the journey was not easy. Many of these girls who came from rural areas had never touched a musical instrument before. Moreover, learning Western music with its distinct notation and techniques felt like a mystery. But as it is said, a good teacher is like the rising sun who comes to fill the empty and dark minds with the light of education. Dr. Dimitris Lambrianos, who graced the prestigious stages of the world's renowned concert halls with his remarkable ability to play more than 30 instruments. Despite his international acclaim, he has remained deeply committed to serving his master by empowering these students, not only through teaching, but also by instilling discipline and confidence in them.
I am Sai Pujita. If it is not possible here, it is not possible anywhere else. As women, we get limited opportunities to express our talents in society. Our orchestra stands as the symbol of equality, demonstrating that a girl is capable of achieving anything and everything. I play French horn in the orchestra, which is considered as one of the most beautiful instruments in the orchestra. But it is equally challenging in its role. Sometimes we discourage ourselves for not being able to reach certain notes. Yet our teacher, Dr. Dimitris, stands as our beacon of support and motivation. He never leaves anyone behind. He patiently guides us, checks each note of every individual, and ensures we perfected them.
Thus, the students discovered their talents which they may have never realized they possessed. Slowly, the notes began to come together and the first melodies of the Girls' Symphony Orchestra were born.
A very good evening to everyone present here today. It brings us immense joy to welcome all of you this evening as the Sai Symphony Orchestra for Girls takes the stage for the very first time. This orchestra is the first and largest symphony orchestra of girls in India. With the divine grace and guidance of our founder, Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, we received the stringed instruments in June and the rest of the instruments, woodwinds, brass, and percussions in August. Under the unwavering dedication and expert leadership of our esteemed teacher, Dr. Dimitris Lambrianos, this orchestra has grown into what you see before you today, consisting of students from the Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence. It is now my pleasure to welcome Dr. Dimitris Lambrianos to the stage. A Greek-American musician and teacher, he has been guiding the orchestra with his remarkable expertise. With the mastery of over 30 instruments, he has performed on some of the world's most prestigious stages and has taught in both Europe and the United States, including the New York University. His passion for music and dedication to teaching is what inspires us all. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the orchestra. Starting from my left, we have the string section, beginning with the contrabasses, cellos, violas, the first violins, and the second violins. In the woodwind section, we have the clarinets, piccolo, flutes, and saxophones. And in the brass sections, we have the trumpets, French horns, trombones, and the tuba. The orchestra also has a diverse range of percussion instruments. This evening, we will be presenting 6 pieces. We commence today's program with the piece Brass Explosion, a dynamic composition by Mike Story, originally written for a marching band. At Sadhguru's command, this high-energy piece has been adapted for the entire orchestra. For this performance, we have Dr. Dimitris on the electric guitar. Our next piece is Chariots of Fire. Composed in 1981 by Greek composer Vangelis, this iconic instrumental piece was composed as the main theme for the film Chariots of Fire and has since become a widely recognized composition. For this song, we have Dr. Dimitris on the grand piano.
Many people are wondering today, how is it possible by someone to create an orchestra and bring the orchestra into this kind of level in 6 months? My answer is very simple: value-based educational system. The fact that these students are learning Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita makes a big difference. They're learning all these great ideas and they're putting them into practice. They're helping each other, they're teaching each other, they're taking care of each other. I would have needed almost 10 teachers to put something together. In 6 months, it wouldn't have been possible. Maybe in a couple of years with 10 teachers. But now I have 100 teachers. Each one of the students are, all of them teachers, and they are teaching each other. This is the big difference. And this is all because of the ideas and the visions of our Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, who, in my opinion, he is the greatest visionary of the 21st century, combining the ancient spirituality with a modern technology. And I think this is the way forward in education, value-based educational system.
Our institution, which is reviving this Gurukula system, focuses on values-based education, which empowers us, the next generation, to become not only professionals, but compassionate leaders and teachers who inspire others. This approach allows me to see opportunities like being part of this orchestra as more than musical learning. It becomes a perfect medium to practice concentration, discipline, patience, and more importantly, teamwork, where we shift our focus from individual perfection to harmonizing with the group. When we come together as a team, our individual differences dissolve and minds unite with the common purpose of creating joy and peace.
The next song for this evening is Havana. Originally performed by Camila Cabello, this track features a blend of pop and Latin influences. For this song, we have Dr. Dimitris on the grand piano.
In an orchestra, each instrument has its moment to shine, but the true magic happens when all come together. The violins weaves melodies with a deep resonance of the cellos. The flutes dance with the clarinets while the timpani anchor the rhythm. Each part is indispensable and together they create a symphony that speaks to the soul. It is here that individuality finds its true strength, not in standing alone, but in blending harmoniously to create a masterpiece. This reminds me of a great saying in the ancient Indian scriptures, that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the whole world is one family, which is the need of the hour, that we should all come together irrespective of our religion, geography and nationality to work in harmony for the greater good, fostering unity, compassion and mutual respect towards each other, thus creating a peaceful and inclusive world for our future generations.
In an orchestra, it is essential to synchronize each note, each beat and each rhythm. Though all of us are from different backgrounds, different age groups, playing various instruments, we come together to synchronize a song. So my part of being the conductor of an orchestra, it's not just about synchronizing each note, but also harmonizing our minds and hearts to create the same voice of perfection.
The orchestra's harmony echoes the timeless message of unity and collaboration, reminding us that we are stronger and more united when we come together, each contributing our uniqueness to create something truly extraordinary.
Up next, we have the song Hallelujah, which translates to praise the Lord. This song was originally composed by Leonard Cohen, and for this piece, we have Dr. Dimitris on the harp, pan flute and soprano saxophone, and Deepika on the vocals. next composition is titled Love is My Form. This song is composed by Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, which beautifully encapsulates the essence of the ideals that Bhagwan lived for.
First and foremost, I express my heartfelt gratitude to Sadhguru for this wonderful opportunity to be a part of this orchestra. Every time I pick up my instrument to practice, I am reminded of the extraordinary sacrifice of the devotees who gifted us these instruments with their hard-earned money without a second thought. Thus, these instruments are not merely instruments, but the priceless treasure which represents their selfless love and dedication of these devotees. This exemplary act of their sacrifice has profoundly transformed my heart, teaching me the value of selflessness, and I also want to become one such selfless individual to give back more than what I received. Also, I express my gratitude to Dr. Dimitri sir, who patiently guides us and corrects us to learn these instruments perfectly.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce our orchestra teacher and mentor, Dr. Dimitris Lambrianos, and our orchestra conductor, Bhuvaneshwari. The last song for this evening is I Will Follow Him, originally composed by Frank Porcel and Paul Moria.
Program is the one where you feel like it shouldn't have been over. You feel like listening to more. It got over too soon. But I think they've done a phenomenal job of doing it in 6 months. They just received the instruments and batches, not even together, but they kept on practicing. And mind you, they're not just the symphony orchestra, but they also are a marching band. And I think the day after sports meet, they would also be marching and playing. So they had to practice that as well as this, and all these within a span of 6 months, and the studies and everything else that I make them do whole day. Despite that, they have put up a wonderful presentation. I think we should clap so loudly that we should be heard till moon and back. Wonderful job, wonderful job. Some of the pieces are my favorite, so they took care that those pieces were kept. And I will follow him is one of those wonderful pieces, and it's very inspirational as well. And they played it so well. I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss of words that I didn't believe that they can do so much, but they have proven me wrong, that they can do much more. If they had a year to do, they would have done better than boys. So the only thing I have understood that I have to have bigger halls and bigger stages now. There are too many of them. But I hope that they'll continue to practice. Don't give up here just because one program got over. Continue to practice. Get yourself to reach that level of perfection. And when 100th birthday celebrations are there, it's a huge orchestra from around the world. Many musicians, very renowned ones, are coming from both from eastern and western side. You also will get an opportunity to play along with them, and that would be in the stadium, so the stage is much bigger. We can fit in everybody, hopefully. What, Dimitris? Yes. Yeah. So boys also can play, girls orchestrals can play, and all the other world musicians who will be there, they will also be playing at the same time. It's a wonderful opportunity. I thought this is just a stepping stone towards that November function. And I think they have done a great job, and if they continue like this, they would definitely be able to play with all those great world musicians. That's my faith and confidence. And I think we are so very lucky to have Dimitris with us. Without him, what we would have done. It's 10 years since Dimitris came. 10 years back he came, and he stayed on to teach the students, both boys and girls, and he took it as a challenge. They worked every single day, every afternoon, every evening to reach here. And when we told that earlier, the idea was that boys and girls will play. I thought even if girls are not up to the mark, boys will cover up for that, so we will manage with a combined orchestra. But then it occurred to me that why should it be so? I think girls should get their stage for themselves, and they should play all by themselves. And look at what they have done. And this is when we take pride in saying we have the largest orchestra in the country as boys. Now put boys and girls together, we have the largest in the world. This is what can happen, with Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. When you have Shraddha, when you have true bhakti and true sincere intentions to do things, anything can be achieved. Nothing is impossible. And this is what they have proven. I'm sure in a couple of months from now, as November approaches, they'll be ready for the big program. And after that, they will also be going around playing and bringing a lot of accolades and pride to all of us. I want to tell the world that, you see, women are so important for everyone. Our mother is a woman. She gave us birth, but unfortunately, in the world today, even after so many centuries, in 21st century also, girls don't get the same opportunities, same level of opportunities as boys. This is very unfortunate. And unfortunately, many of the parents also do not appreciate that they should be treated as equals. In villages, in small towns, in rural areas, many of the girls are not even allowed to continue their education beyond a certain class because they feel that these girls are, after all, good for just getting married and settling, and they can't achieve anything more than that. Why waste money on them? That is the kind of attitude some of them carry. In the background of all this that has happened, here is an institution, here is an opportunity, here is an orchestra that proves everything, whatever was said so far wrong, and says that if you give them opportunities, they will shine like anybody in the world. And this is just a simple proof of this sample of that, what is possible. In 6 months, rural girls come together, work with a global musician like Dimitris, learn Western instruments, which is not something that they're familiar with, read Western notes. I was watching their scores. All are written in the Western notes. It's not that they wrote Sa Re Ga Ma under it. You know, when I was playing in the band, I tell you, means I shouldn't tell it, but then I'll tell you that I was not comfortable with Western notes. So what I used to do is that I knew Hindustani, so I would simply write under that all Sa, Pa, Re, Ga and all that to remember the tunes. So many times the leader who was there, he would say, no, this is not allowed. You have to read the notes and play. You can't just memorize the whole thing and play as you want and write Indian notes on it. So I was watching whether they have written Indian notes under it, but no, they have all got Western scores, they have written Western notes, and the practice did that way. That's very, very good. And they all look very pretty as well. They are from all classes? From which all the classes?
Mostly university.
Mostly university, from first UG to all the way. Okay, very good. You are in which class?
Fourth semester PG.
Fourth semester PG. You are in PG. Very good, very nice. And even things like trombones and tuba and those big cellos and everything is very, very impressive. And they have to learn all these other things now, piano and harps and things like that. Yeah, then some of them who have that in them, you encourage them to play solos as well. You will see next time. And even the singer sang so nicely. Where is she? That's also another very nice song, Hallelujah. Whenever I go to Italy, I tell people, even in Argentina, please sing Hallelujah. They sing so beautifully. And they also included that, Chariots of Fire. And the last time I went, I said, why don't you include Brass Explosion as well? Because the program with just 5 pieces wouldn't be very long. Just add one more. So they added that too. All these they did within a month's time. So I'm very impressed. I do not know what to say. I'm so proud. And I'm sure all those who have supported this orchestra will be equally proud. And they deserve it because they are so good. And we have to give them whatever opportunities they deserve. That is our collective responsibility as a society. All boys and girls, everybody should be treated equal, at least when it comes to opportunities. And this is my way of conveying this to the world through this girls' orchestra. Now, over to Dimitris. Did that trouble you?
I'm better playing music than speaking. But today it's, I think, the biggest boon that I have ever received.
Dimitris has a big job to do for the birthday. He has to work with so many musicians, I think from over 40 countries. They're all coming here. And he's preparing a wonderful program for the 100th birthday celebrations. On 23rd evening, there'll be a big world music, world symphony at the stadium. And you'll have a lot of light and sound show and drone shows. And I don't know, so much has been planned. We are also excited. This is just the beginning of many things. And I didn't want the girls to be felt left out. They should also participate in that. And now they are definitely capable of participating. And I'm very happy about it. Continue to practice, but at the same time, please don't neglect your studies. Continue to study as well. This all is possible because you are very focused, you are not distracted, so you are able to achieve so much more. Dimitris said because you also learn Vedas, Paravidya, meditation. All this keeps our mind calm. That is what helps us to do so much more because we don't waste time on things that are not necessary. That is why you are able to reach. Please look after instruments also very well. These have to be passed on to the next generations to care for them as it is to be done. And I will see you again on in November on the big stage and in the stadium. July, okay. So let's do like this. In July, we will try it out in a small way. It's like a precursor to the big November function. The July orchestra, we will have it on, we'll have it in the ground. Yeah, because we need that bigger stage. Otherwise, they'll make me sit outside the hall next time. There's no place. So July, we will try it on the big stage. Let's see how it comes out. And I think that would be a good preparation for the November part. So very good. I'm very happy. Go take good rest and come back tomorrow for the cricket match. Tomorrow is the One World, One Family cricket match in the morning. We have also the devotees who have sponsored this. I don't want to pick them out and put them on stage. It's not nice because I don't want children to feel that it comes from one person. It comes from everybody. It's a collective offering. So I really want to appreciate the devotees also who have done this for us. And that's it. Tomorrow we will see the cricket match. The day after the sports meet. Okay.
जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदैवमो मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशयना ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी साई महादेवा सद्गुरु साई महादेवा मंगल हारति अंगुको मंगल हारति अंगुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय जय बोलो सद्गुरु श्री मधुसूदन साई जी की जय